Yo, what's going on, guys? It's King Sean here, and terrible loss. Terrible, terrible game. I'm just. This was terrible. All the way around. 34-27, the Atlanta Falcons beat us. I mean, first of all, just losing to a team that got shut out the previous week by a team that put up a total of 6 points today. Yes, the Panthers lost to the Patriots. I think the score was 42-6 to the Patriots. And the Panthers suck. And the Falcons got shut out by them last week. And I said to you guys in my preview video on Friday that the Falcons aren't going to look this bad versus us. They don't want to look that bad again, and they won't look that bad again. And they didn't. But to lose to them in this manner where their offense just dominates us. Their offense hasn't been good all year long. Even before the Panthers game. They weren't putting up many points. They couldn't get the pass game going for real, for real. It was really their run game. And today, I mean, Bijan Robinson, he was amazing today. I'm not going to lie. But he did most of his damage through the air. I mean, that 60-plus yard catch and run on the wheel route where I don't know why. We're going to talk about Joe Wood Jr., man. We're going to talk about Joe Wood Jr. But the fact that Bobby Wagner is in coverage against Bijan Robinson, 35-year-old Bobby Wagner in coverage versus Bijan Robinson. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. What are we doing? Before this game, if I'm not mistaken, the Falcons hadn't completed a pass of 20-plus yards, I don't think, up until today's game. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe they have. I feel like they have. Maybe like one or two. But even if they did, there weren't a lot of them. They hadn't had a lot of big plays before today. And today they have the Drake London big completion downfield. London completely beat Lattimore. Lattimore held on the play and still got cooked. What are we doing? And then the wheel route to Frankie Louvu, or not Louvu, sorry. The wheel route to Bijan Robinson, where Bobby Wagner was in coverage. I mean, what are we doing there, Joe Wood Jr.? What are we doing? I mean, that was the point where I was like, yeah, I'm done with Joe Wood. I'm done with him. I mean, you have 35-year-old Bobby Wagner in coverage with Bijan Robinson. Unbelievable. And then Quan Martin, he got called with a holding penalty on that Kyle Pitts catch, and Pitts still hauled it in. We were terrible today on defense. Absolutely horrific. And you know what? Let's talk about this defense right here, right now, fully in depth. From the start of the game, the Falcons' first drive went down there and scored easy, and it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous how they scored on their first drive so methodically, drove right down the field. It was insane. Absolutely insane, and it was bad, man. Like, this was such a bad game for the defense, really for us overall, but the defense, man, I mean, what was Joe Wood Jr. What was the game plan? When we played zone coverage, we got dotted up by Michael Penix. Penix had 313 passing yards today. A career high for him. Career high. And of course it comes against us. Of course. I mean, he was amazing today. He made so many great throws. And there were times where, man, I mean, a guy's just running so wide open. And I'm like, how? What is going on? Why is this guy so wide open? Busted coverages. Miscommunication. It's happened every single week now. Every single week. And at this point, I'm like, when will this get fixed? When? Because although, you know, the players in the secondary have not performed well, this is primarily a coaching issue. The run defense wasn't amazing today. Tyler Algier, he had 16 carries. Bijan Robinson had 17 carries. I think if you do the math, they had 128 total yards on the ground. And 37 carries, so that right there is 3.4 yards a carry. In reality, it was better than that, to be honest with you. But our run defense, it wasn't terrible, but we went up against a much better running back this week. Bijan Robinson, the best running back we've faced so far, and he was really good today. And we missed a lot of tackles on his rushing touchdown. I mean, Jeremy Reeves, he was trying to go for the fumble, I guess, trying to go for the ball, and he missed the tackle, and Bijan Robinson scored. That was bad. Really bad. But it was the pass defense. mainly that loss of this game, man. It was terrible. Absolutely horrendous, man. Marshawn Lattimore was bad. Mikey Sandersville was bad. Even Trey Amos allowed a catch. I think 2 catches, actually. So, Mike, it was bad today on all fronts of the defense. Terrible. Linebacker play wasn't great. Didn't get much pressure on Penix. I mean, I could say a lot more about this defense, but overall, man, it was terrible. And I think at this point, we really have to start questioning Joe Wood Jr. and this defensive coaching staff. If you move over to the offensive side of the ball, first drive of the game for the offense was not great. 3 and out. We tried a Debo jet sweep on that play, went nowhere. And then Marcus Mariota tried to go deep for Luke McCaffrey, didn't work. It was bad. But then, on our second drive, Chris Rodriguez broke out that long run, 49 yards, and we scored on that drive. Hey, Luke had a great game, man. That touchdown catch, and had a really nice kick return as well. Unfortunately, we didn't do anything after that kick return. I think we only got 3 points, a field goal. We got to capitalize there. But unfortunately, when you're out, your QB1 and your receiver 1, it's hard to get a lot going. And the fact that we still put up 27 points today, despite the injuries on offense, honestly, kind of impressive. With that being said, though, the offense, wasn't amazing today. However, I'm not putting this loss on them. I'm putting it primarily on the defense, right? The offense still made its mistakes. There were times where, hey, why can't we get anything going on this drive? Why, how did this turn out to be a punt? And, we did have some penalties, like on this one drive where ended up in 1st and 30. I mean, at that point, Cliff, what are you even supposed to call, right? Pretty sure we ended up getting a first down on that drive, though, after the 1st and 30 and scored. I can't quite remember, but, yeah, there were some mistakes by the offense as well, but, the defense is really the main reason we lost. The pass from Mariota to Debo to get us to 24 points, that was nice. The Luke touchdown. Our run game, I thought, was really good, although we did not run it enough today, which was a bit frustrating. I understand we're down a couple of scores, but at the same time, I need Bill to get more touches, man. 7 carries, 47 yards. That might be more than 4.5 yards a carry. I may be wrong, but that's a good game, man. I need him to get more carries, bro. Chris Rodriguez Jr., 7 carries for 59 yards, had that long 49-yard carry. He had a good game. Receiving-wise, Debo had a good game, 6 catches, 72 yards, touchdown. Luke had 2 catches, 21 yards, a touchdown. Zach Ertz also had 2 catches for 21 yards, right? So, again, take into injuries consideration, right? QB1 out, receiver 1 out, your blocking tight ends out, Noah Brown's out, all these different factors. I don't think our offense was terrible today. For what was out there on the field, they stepped up today. But unfortunately, the defense did not. Special teams-wise, Matt Gay had a great day, 4 for 4. His longest kick today was 52 yards. This was his best game as a Commander, so hopefully this instills confidence in him and he continues to perform well going forward, right? Just to get back to the defense, Drake London, 8 catches, 110 yards, a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, over 100 yards receiving. Kyle Pitts, 70 yards and a touchdown. It was just bad today, terrible. You can win games. And we saw it last year. We won games with how bad this defense looked. However, you can't always win games with a defense looking this bad. And if we don't get this fixed soon, it could be bad for us. And I don't know if Joe Wood Jr. will ever realize that, he's got to switch stuff up. I don't know. Hopefully he does. But if he doesn't, man, we're going to be in a dogfight for a lot of these games, right? We're getting Jayden Daniels back for the Chargers game. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter reported that this morning, so that's great. We knew that, right? He probably return next week, but, man, the defense, it was terrible today. So, 2-2 now. Sucks that we lost. The Chargers lost to the Giants today. That was a surprise, but, man, this was just a very, very bad loss. Almost forgot to mention that we got our first turnover today. Mikey had the interception. Penix threw. It was a pretty bad pass. We should have had a turnover a lot earlier, though. We had 3 different opportunities to get a turnover. On the Falcons' second drive, or I think their first drive, they scored a field goal, but on their second drive, they scored a touchdown. So on their first drive, Bijan Robinson was wide open, but Penix was late to getting to him, and Marshawn Lattimore and I think Quan Martin were there, and literally they had the ball like kind of close to them in their hands, couldn't haul it in right. And then I think on that same drive, if I'm not mistaken, Deron Payne forced a fumble. I want to stay on Bijan or Tyler Algier, couldn't quite remember, but literally the ball was out and we couldn't recover it. Insane, right? And we just don't create turnovers. We just don't. Like, it sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's really unfortunate. But at least we got our first turnover today. Shout out to Mikey for that. He didn't play a great game. Nobody in the secondary did, in my opinion. But shout out to him for getting us our first turnover of the year. That's it for today's video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe, turn on notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on today's loss versus the Falcons. Again, we got the Chargers next week. I don't even want to know the things Justin Herbert's going to do to this defense next week. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. And they lost today versus the Giants, a team that they're supposed to beat. It might get ugly for us next week. But I'm not going to say that. Not going to put that too much in the air because, we're getting Jaden back next week. So we'll see what happens. But, man, we got a lot of fix on this defense. And I don't know if those things will ever get fixed, right? But, again, that's it for today's video. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.